Goku continued with his life as normal on Earth, training hard to face any challenge. Although he felt that everything always depended on him and Vegeta, his children did not train as he wanted, and not even Piccolo took the seriousness necessary to become stronger. Goku, worried about this situation, decides to increase the level of his training. "Everything depends on me and Vegeta. It will always be like this. I have to get stronger anyway," Goku said. "The stronger I get, Vegeta will reach me. It is the only way to protect the Earth." Goku would begin to become absent more than normal from his home. He spent almost all the time training. But it was not only training for a number of hours, it was also the intensity of this. Goku explored new levels of power, seeking to achieve some new transformation. After this, he would use the Super Saiyan Blue to train. In addition to that, he would use the Kaioken for 20. At that moment, Whis would feel Goku's ki. Despite the distance and being at the other end of the universe, Goku's power was felt from afar. "Wow, Goku's ki is reaching a dangerous level," Whis said. "Now that you say it, it seemed to me to feel something," Beerus said. "Let's observe." Whis would use his baculum to observe Goku. He would see him exploiting his ki at a dangerous level. "If he continues like this, he will only risk his life," Whis said. "He's taking the same risk as when he fought Hit." "Well, it's his decision. We can't take care of him forever," Beerus said. After this, Goku continued to train, throwing blows at high speed, but each blow would make his muscles resonate. You could hear how this was compressed more than normal. Vegeta would arrive at the moment. Goku's ki had alerted him. "Kakarot, are you crazy?" Vegeta said. "If you continue like this, you will be in danger." "I have to get stronger," Goku said. "If it goes wrong, you already know what you don't have to do." "Hey, idiot, is there any danger?" Vegeta said between teeth. "The danger can come at any time. We can't wait for it to come," Goku said. After this, Goku would exploit his ki, but he would lose his transformation after putting his eyes in white. "Kakarot," Vegeta said. Goku would begin to fall quickly, but Vegeta would carry him. Instantly, he would fly with him to the Kami-sama temple. "Dende, you have to cure him," Vegeta said. "What happened to him?" Dende said. "He overexerted his ki," Vegeta said. "Quick! He won't last long!" Dende would try to cure Goku. But just when he puts his hands, Vegeta and Dende would realize that Goku's ki had completely turned off. "It can't be," Dende said. "Oh, what an idiot," Vegeta said. Goku had died after violently increasing his ki. The news would quickly reach others. Chi-Chi and Goten were devastated by the news. "I can't believe it. Why did he do it?" Chi-Chi said. "All for wanting to be stronger," Bulma said. Gohan would arrive flying. His seriousness was more than usual. Seeing Goku would not be sad. "No problem," Gohan said. "Bulma, do you have the Dragon Spheres?" "We used them a long time ago, but they will return in 2 months," Bulma said. "Then it will only be a matter of waiting for them to return to revive him," Gohan said. "After all, Dende modified the Dragon Spheres and they can revive anyone as many times as necessary." "Yes, you're right," Bulma said. "In the end, he only did it to train in the beyond," my confidant said. "Goku doesn't think of anything other than training. It's not smart to waste wishes that way," Vegeta said. "Vegeta, after all, we use the Dragon Spheres every so often to prevent others from using them. Remember what happened with Frieza," Bulma said. That way, our friends would wait 2 months to revive Goku. Vegeta continued training as usual, while Goku was in the beyond. "Heavens, despite being dead, nothing has changed," Goku said. "They will always depend on me and Vegeta, and without me, Vegeta will not become stronger. even if I try. Finally, it would be time to revive Goku. Our friends would gather the dragon in the spheres. Bulma would be the one who would invoke him. "Shenlong, I wish you would revive Goku," Bulma said. "Don't do it," Goku said in Shenlong's mind. "Why?" Shenlong said, but in Goku's mind, without others being able to hear. "I've been broken many times. The territories must know how to defend the Earth without depending on me," Goku said. "Please just tell them you can't do it. I don't want them to know that the idea is mine." "Wow, you turned out to be wiser than I expected," Shenlong said. "Hey, why are you taking so long?" Bulma said, noticing Shenlong's silence. "I'm sorry, I can't fulfill that wish," Shenlong said. "What?" Bulma said. "But I did update you, so you can revive without limits," Dende said, disconcerted. "You're a bastard. You don't revive him because you don't want to," Chi-Chi said, out of herself. Chi-Chi's tears fell down her cheeks with violence, showing her emotions that she couldn't contain. "Mrs. Chi-Chi, please, she's talking to a god," Dende said. "There's something weird here," Vegeta would think, but he wouldn't say anything about it. "Come on, you have to be able to do it," Gohan said. "I'm sorry, they're rules from beyond. It's something that doesn't depend on me," Shenlong said. "Goku has already been revived many times and I can't do it anymore. It would endanger the security of the universe." "Come on, just this time," Bulma said. "Ask for another wish or I'll have to go," Shenlong said. "Go away, we don't need anything else," Piccolo said. "Hey," Bulma said. Shenlong would leave, leaving our friends with humor on the floor. Vegeta, without saying a single word, would leave from there. "I don't understand," Chi-Chi said, devastated after falling on her knees and crying. "Heavens, will Goku really not be able to be revived?" Piccolo said. "If that is what Shenlong said, not even other dragon spheres can be useful." Vegeta could not get his head off the words of Shenlong and the fact that Goku could not be revived. Although at first he would try to ignore the situation, the anxiety grew inside him. He knew something was wrong, and his instinct told him that Goku was behind all this. Decided to find answers, Vegeta would make a drastic decision. He would travel to the other world. That way, Vegeta through Dende would be taken to the beyond. Upon reaching heaven, Vegeta would feel Goku's presence almost immediately. It wouldn't take him long to find him. Goku was training as usual in an infinite cloud field. Goku, noticing Vegeta's arrival, would stop and return to face his partner and rival. "Vegeta, what are you doing here?" Goku would ask with a mixture of surprise and concern. "Stop pretending, Kakarot. I know you're the reason Shenlong couldn't revive you," Vegeta answered, crossing his arms and frowning. Goku sighs and lowers his head. "I'm sorry, Vegeta, but I've been revived too many times. I feel like if I keep coming back, the Earth will never learn to defend itself. They'll always depend on me and you," Goku said. "They must become stronger." "What does that matter?" Vegeta said, taking a step forward. "Do you really think that the Earthlings can face the enemies that have come, or those who will come? Without you, Kakarot, everything would be much more difficult, and you know it. It's a selfish act on your part." "It's true, Vegeta," Goku said, raising his gaze to meet his rival's eyes. "But I also know that it's time for the others to stand up. Gohan, Piccolo, even your children and mine. They all have potential. But as long as they continue to depend on me, they will never achieve it. I will not be forever. And it is better that you understand now." Vegeta would squeeze his fists. His emotions were mixed between frustration and understanding. "You're an idiot, Kakarot. But you are also the most stubborn warrior I have ever met. If this is your path, then I will not stop you. But let it be clear, I will not stay with my arms crossed. I will be stronger, with or without you. And if one day you decide to return, it is better that you are prepared to face a Vegeta who will no longer be in your shadow," Vegeta said with great pride. Goku smiled, recognizing the determination in Vegeta's words. "I know, Vegeta, and that day, if it comes, it will be a fight that not even the one beyond will be able to forget," Goku said. "I'll be waiting for you," Vegeta felt, turning around to leave. "See you later, Kakarot," Vegeta said. "I hope you regret your words." Goku would watch as Vegeta disappeared. A feeling of peace flooded his heart. He knew that the decision he had made was the right one. Although it was not easy to accept for others, for now he continued training in the other world, letting the Earth forge its own destiny. Days later, we see Vegeta on the planet of Beerus. He had arrived to tell the situation. "Mr. Goku has proven to be wiser than we thought," Whis said. "Now we must explain the situation to Zeno-sama, so that he does not get upset when he wants to see him," Beerus said. "Damn, what a way to complicate things. Kakarot is an idiot," Vegeta said. "He has done the right thing," Beerus said. "Vegeta, they were depending too much on him. Now it is your responsibility to be the protector of the Earth. What do I say? Of the universe. And you must follow his example and make the others train." "I doubt much that Gohan leaves his intellectual life to train," Vegeta said. "Not to mention Trunks and Goten, who are miscreants. As for his son, he should explain to him what happened to his version of the future. It's time to be more serious," Whis said. "I'll see what I can do," Vegeta said. Vegeta would be taken to Earth trying to convince others, although he would not tell anyone about Goku's decision. Anyway, it would be difficult to make others understand that it was important to replace Goku, especially with Gohan. "Gohan, you are Kakarot's son. At least honor his name," Vegeta said. "I understand, but I'm not a real warrior," Gohan said. "I have a family. I can't neglect it." "Oh, idiot! If someone strong comes and destroys the planet, that family will not exist," Vegeta said. "Vegeta, I think you're exaggerating. It's not that bad," Videl said. "You can train if you want." "I think I'll take Pan," Vegeta said. "After all, when Piccolo took you to Force, he made you stronger." "Hey, you're not going to touch my daughter," Gohan furious said. Gohan's Kai would begin to increase accidentally. The whole house would tremble. "Gohan, be careful," Videl said. "Gohan, you have to control your emotions," Piccolo said. "Besides, what Vegeta says is not so wrong. It was a warning that I have always given you." "Mr. Piccolo, don't tell me you think the same," Gohan said. "Whatever. I will not waste time with a silly child," Vegeta said. "Now I understand why in the future you could not protect the Earth." Vegeta would leave, leaving a thorn in Gohan's heart for that comment. Gohan observed the sky from the window of his house, lost in his thoughts. Vegeta's words resonated in his mind over and over again. "Now I understand why in the future you could not protect the Earth." Gohan would remember Vegeta's words. That hurtful comment had struck his pride as a warrior, something he had tried to bury for years, but now emerged with force. "Have I really neglected my training so much?" Gohan would ask. He knew that his father had always been the pillar of defense of the Earth, and although in his youth he himself had demonstrated immense power, over time he had prioritized his life as an academic, husband, and father. "Without my father, I will have to take charge," Gohan said. But now without Goku to protect the planet, Gohan began to question whether he should resume his role as a warrior. He remembered the countless battles in which he had fought alongside his father, the times in which he had exceeded his own limits to save his loved ones. However, the life he had built with Videl and Pan had not gone that way. He knew that training again would mean sacrificing time with his family, time that he valued above all else. But Vegeta's warning had hit him deep. If an enemy as powerful as those they had faced in the past came to Earth, would he be able to protect his family? The fear of not being prepared worried him. He knew that Pan already showed great potential, but he was still a child. Was he willing to let her face the dangers of the universe without being in his best form? Gohan would sigh, watching Videl and Pan play in the garden. Videl had noticed his concern, but had decided to give him space to process it. He knew that sooner or later he had to talk to her, but first he needed to clarify his own thoughts. "Gohan, are you okay?" Videl said. "I notice you are very quiet." "Yes, I'm fine," Gohan said, something muffled. Gohan would close his eyes and remember a crucial moment in his life, the battle against Cell. At that time, he had unleashed a power that he didn't even know, pushed by the desperation of losing his loved ones. But that had been a long time ago. Now, although he was still strong, his power had stagnated. He felt like a shadow of what he once was. "Am I really ready to go back to that world?" Gohan would think. But he could not deny that there was something inside him that pushed him on that path. It was not only the desire to protect his family, but also an internal need to reconnect with the part of himself that he had left behind. Videl observed, noticing the seriousness on his face. She would approach him and place a hand on his shoulder. "Gohan, are you okay?" she would ask him softly. This time he could no longer hide it. She would open her eyes and look at him with a small smile, although his eyes still showed doubts. "I'm thinking about what Vegeta said," Gohan answered, taking Videl's hand. "About training?" Videl said with understanding. She also knew how important it had been for him to be a warrior, although he had left it aside for them. Gohan said, "I don't want to neglect our lives, Videl, but if something happened, if someone powerful came and I was not ready, I would not forget myself." Gohan said, lowering his gaze, feeling the weight of his own words. Videl looked at him tenderly, but also with determination. "Gohan, I know you've always wanted to protect us, and you've done it. But I also know that you are happier when you are true to yourself. If you need to train to feel prepared, I will understand. Pan and I will be fine," Videl said when he smiled, giving him the encouragement he needed. Videl's words would be like a balm for Gohan. He appreciated her understanding, but he still had doubts. Before making a decision, he needed to talk to someone else, someone who understood him deeply. "I need to talk to Piccolo," Gohan said, finally making a decision. "See, we'll be here when you come back," Videl said. "And remember, no matter what decision you make, we will always support you." Gohan said goodbye to Videl and Pan with a kiss, and then he would take off to the mountains where he knew he would find Piccolo meditating. As he flew, the cool wind on his face helped him clarify his thoughts. Despite the doubts, a part of him felt the excitement of training again, of reconnecting with that power that once had been so natural to him. Moments later, Gohan would land gently where Piccolo used to meditate. As expected, he would find him sitting in the lotus position, immersed in his thoughts. Despite being focused, Piccolo would immediately notice Gohan's presence, and he would open his eyes slowly. "Gohan?" Piccolo said in his usual tone, firm and calm. "I knew you would come." Gohan would sit in front of Piccolo, adopting the same meditation position. They didn't need words to start the conversation. Piccolo understood Gohan better than anyone else, and he knew that the visit of his old pupil was motivated by something more than a simple desire to chat. "I was seriously thinking about what Vegeta said," Gohan said. "I think you're right. I have neglected my training. I am not the warrior I should be." Gohan would take a break, looking for the right words. "And I know you're right, but I also know that I don't want to sacrifice my life with Videl and Pan. I don't want to go back to that world, but at the same time, I feel like I should," Gohan said. Piccolo would watch him in silence for a moment, before answering. "Gohan, you have always had a foothold in both worlds. You are a warrior by nature, but also an academic and a family man. It is not easy to balance both things, but if someone can do it, it is you," Piccolo said, tilting his head slightly. "However, you must be honest with yourself. Is fear what drives you, or the desire to protect what you love?" Gohan would reflect on Piccolo's words. He had been avoiding training for fear of losing his family life, but he also knew that that same fear could put his family in danger if he was not prepared for what could come. "I want to protect my family, but I also want to be strong for myself, as I was in the past," Gohan said with his voice full of sincerity. "I can't keep avoiding what I am." That is the answer you needed to find. It's not just about protecting others, Gohan. It's about being true to yourself. If you train with that purpose in mind, you will find the balance you are looking for," Piccolo said. Gohan smiled slightly, feeling how part of the burden he was carrying dissipated. Piccolo had always been a guide to him, and once again, his words helped him see clearly. "Thank you, Mr. Piccolo. I knew talking to you would help me," Gohan said. Piccolo would slowly get up, extending a hand to help Gohan stand up. "So, are you ready to start?" Piccolo would ask with a slight smile. Knowing the answer, Gohan would take Piccolo's hand and stand up. "Yes, it's time to be the warrior I once was," Gohan answered with great determination. Both warriors would look at each other, knowing that the path ahead would not be easy, but also understanding that it was necessary. Training would begin immediately, and this time, Gohan would do it not only for his family, but for himself. For the following weeks, Gohan and Piccolo would train hard. Slowly, Piccolo, as always, was a demanding teacher, pushing Gohan to exceed his limits. The trainings were not only physical, but also mental. Gohan needed to reconnect with his inner power, the same one that had awakened so many times in the past. At first, Gohan felt that his skills were rusty. Although he maintained a good level of power, he was not even the shadow of what he had been in his maximum splendor. But with each day of training, his strength and speed improved, and his confidence grew. Piccolo watched Gohan's progress with satisfaction. He knew that there was a lot of latent potential in his former disciple, and he was determined to help him recover it. Although he did not show it, Piccolo also felt stronger when training with Gohan. The bond between the two had only strengthened over time. One day, after an intense training combat, they would both take a break, sitting on a rock under the shade of a tree. "You are approaching your old level, Gohan," Piccolo said, as he watched the mountains in the distance. "But there is still a lot to do." Gohan assented, wiping the sweat off his forehead. "I know, but I feel like I'm on the right track. Thank you for being here to guide me, Mr. Piccolo," Gohan said. Piccolo would close his eyes, accepting the thanks in silence. "Remember, Gohan, it's not just about regaining your power. It's about evolving, going beyond what you were in the past. Your potential is immense, but you will only achieve it if you maintain your determination," Piccolo said. Gohan assented seriously, understanding the words of his mentor. "I will do it. This time I will not fail," Gohan said. While they both continued their break, a figure was watching from a distance. Vegeta, who had been monitoring Gohan's progress, assented with approval. Although he would not admit it out loud, he felt a certain pride when he saw that Gohan had taken his words seriously. The world needed strong warriors, and Gohan was regaining his place among them. "Goku, maybe your decision was not so wrong after all," Vegeta would think as he moved away in silence. The training continued, and with it the preparation for what would come in the future. The Earth was still a vulnerable place, but with Gohan regaining his power and determination, the hope of a safe tomorrow shone brighter than ever. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, the god of destruction and his angel watched everything closely. "What do you think, Judge?" Beerus said. "Brute Gohan is stronger than his father," Whisit said. "Huh? Do you really think so?" Beerus said. "Of course. Analyzing his story, he has overcome it with much less training. If Gohan has such limited power, it is because he is not a 100% warrior," Whisit said. "You are right. Goku and Vegeta only know the world of martial arts, while Gohan does not fight for pleasure, only for necessity," Beerus said. "I think we have to call Frieza." "For what?" Whisit said. "Let's put it to the test," Beerus said. "Strong enemies create strong heroes." Whisit and Beerus would go to Frieza's planet without delay. The evil emperor would be terrified of the presence of both. "Wow, I didn't expect them here," Frieza said. "Frieza, I have an order for you," Beerus said. "You must go to Earth and destroy the Terracles." "How do you say?" Frieza said, confused. "Are you questioning me?" Beerus said. "No, I just thought he was friends with them," Frieza said. "I have my reasons to invite you to destroy the Terracles, but above all, you have a couple of instructions," Beerus said, seriously. Beerus would give him the details of what he had to do. The mission was clear. Frieza had to try to destroy Earth with the aim of motivating Gohan. The cool breeze of the mountain caressed Gohan's face as he continued his training with Piccolo. He felt that his body was getting stronger day by day, but he also perceived that there was something on the horizon, something he couldn't quite define. It was as if a shadow was creeping over the Earth, and although he couldn't identify the source, his instinct told him to prepare for the worst. "Why do I have this strange feeling?" Gohan said seriously. On Beerus's planet, the god of destruction relaxed on his throne while Whis watched him closely. There was a disturbing calm in the air, but both knew it wouldn't last long. Whis, contact Vegeta. It's time for him to come here, but not on Earth, Whis said with his usually carefree tone, but with a latent seriousness. Whis, always obedient, would raise his staff and create a direct communication with Vegeta, who at that moment was in the gravity room of the Capsule Corporation, pushing his limits beyond what he had done in a long time. Vegeta, feeling the presence of Whis, would stop his training and respond with his usual severe tone of voice. "What do you want, Whis?" Vegeta would ask, wiping the sweat off his forehead as he adjusted his breathing. "Mr. Beerus has a mission for you, Vegeta. You must leave Earth immediately and come to Beerus's planet," Whis answered without hesitation. Vegeta frowned. Something was wrong with him. "Why now? What's going on?" Vegeta said. "It's part of the plan, Mr. Vegeta. Don't ask too much and get ready to leave. There are important matters that require your attention, and this cannot wait," Whis said with his calm but firm voice. Vegeta would close his eyes for a moment, trying to decipher the intentions behind the request, but he knew it made no sense to question Beerus. Despite his doubts, Vegeta was not someone who would leave things at random. Without further delay, he would decide to obey and prepare to leave. "Okay, I'll wait for you to come for me," Vegeta said. "But don't tell anyone anything. It must be a secret," Whis said. Meanwhile, on Earth, Gohan was about to experience a drastic change in his life. While training with Piccolo, a sudden and overwhelming feeling of dark power crosses his consciousness. Gohan would stop dry, feeling a terrifying energy approach the Earth. "I'm sorry, Mr. Piccolo," Gohan would ask with his tense and worried voice. Piccolo agreed. His gaze was fixed on the horizon. "Yes, it is unmistakable. It is Frieza," Piccolo said. "Damn it, that bastard surely found out about your father's death. It can't be," Gohan said between teeth as he clenched his fists with anger. The name of the evil emperor resonated in Gohan's mind, bringing with him an avalanche of painful memories. Frieza, the tyrant who had destroyed his father in Namek, the being who had unleashed his fury by killing his friends. Gohan felt a chill run through his spine, but he was not the young one to be scared. Since once he had been, he knew that Frieza was not coming in peace. "We have to prepare, Mr. Piccolo," said Gohan with a voice full of renewed determination. Piccolo would watch Gohan with pride. He had changed. He had matured. He was no longer the child who needed protection. Now he was a warrior who faced the challenge in front. "We must not only prepare, Gohan, you must be ready for everything," Piccolo answered, aware that the time had come for Gohan to show his true power. Gohan whistled the sign. "But if Frieza has reached a new level, it could be dangerous," Gohan said. "That is precisely why you must do it," interrupted Piccolo. "This is your time, Gohan. You have to trust your strength in what we have worked so far. I will be here, but this is your battle." Piccolo's words resonated in Gohan's mind. He knew that his mentor was right, but the weight of the responsibility was overwhelming. However, he could not afford to hesitate. The Earth, his family, and all his friends depended on him. Meanwhile, Vegeta had reached the planet of Beerus. Upon arrival, he would look at Beerus with a mixture of doubt and distrust. "Why did you call me here, Beerus? I should be on Earth," Vegeta said, trying to contain his irritation. Beerus would look at him with an expression that reflected a mixture of boredom and patience. "Why, Vegeta? This is a test for Gohan, and you will not interfere with it," Beerus said seriously. "What are you talking about?" Vegeta said, confused. "Frieza will attack the Earth and Gohan must be the one who protects it," Beerus said seriously. "That's crazy," Vegeta said. "Gohan is too soft to give him that responsibility." "Then we'll see what it's made of, and if it's worthy of the power it has," Beerus answered without fuss. Meanwhile on Earth, Frieza would descend on his ship, landing in a desolate place far from the cities, but close enough to be noticed. His presence would be like an alarm for all the Zeta warriors, but especially for Gohan. Without wasting time, Gohan heads to the place where he had felt Frieza's energy, leaving Piccolo behind. When he arrives, Frieza awaits him with a sadistic smile. "Well, well, but if it's little Gohan, do you come to die like your father?" Frieza said with an expression of mockery. Gohan would land in front of Frieza. His expression was serious and without a trace of fear. "I'm not the same Gohan you met, Frieza, and this time, I won't be the one to fall," Gohan said. Frieza would let go of a laugh. His tail was moving impatiently. "We'll see about that, boy. I've come to destroy this planet, and you won't stop me," Frieza said. "I don't understand. Why isn't Vegeta here?" Piccolo would seriously think. Gohan wouldn't waste any more time talking. He knew that Frieza was dangerous and that words wouldn't stop him. Without prior notice, he would launch himself against the tyrant, unleashing a burst of fast and powerful blows. Frieza, surprised by the speed and strength of Gohan, could barely defend himself, but he quickly recovers, counterattacking with an energy attack that would force Gohan to retreat. "Not bad, little one," Frieza said, "but it's not enough." The battle would begin to intensify. Gohan and Frieza exchanged blows and bursts of energy at a dizzying speed. Both fighters seemed to be equal, but Gohan knew that Frieza was not showing all his power, nor was he. In a critical moment, Frieza would move away, smiling with malice. "I think it's time to show you my true power, Gohan. I don't want you to get bored too fast," Frieza said. With a cry of war, Frieza would begin to transform his body, reaching his golden form, the form of Golden Frieza. Gohan would observe the change seriously. He knew that Frieza was playing with him, but he couldn't afford to underestimate him. "If that's what you want," Gohan said. Gohan would use his mystical form to fight with all his power. When Frieza finished his transformation, his power had multiplied exponentially. Gohan would feel the weight of that crushing energy, but he didn't back down. He knew that the real challenge was about to begin. "Very well, here I go," Frieza said. Frieza would attack with a speed and swiftness that surprised Gohan. Frieza's blows were devastating, and Gohan would have to use all his power to defend himself. Each impact resonated in the ground, creating craters and shockwaves that felt miles away. Despite the brutality of the attacks, Gohan remained calm. He knew that he couldn't afford to lose control. Every move he made was calculated. Looking for an opportunity to counterattack, Gohan would finally find an opening. With a scream of war, he released a massive burst of energy that would envelop Frieza and throw him into the air. But before he could celebrate, Frieza would emerge from the explosion. He was unmoved and more furious than ever. "Bastard!" Frieza would scream, throwing himself at Gohan at a blinding speed. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." Gohan would barely have time to react before Frieza hit him with a series of fast and precise attacks. Each blow was like a storm, taking him to the brink of defeat. But Gohan was not going to give up. Despite the pain, despite the fatigue, he clung to his determination, remembering what was at stake. "I'm not going to let you destroy the Earth," Gohan would scream, gathering all his strength for a last attack. Concentrating his energy to the maximum, Gohan would release a powerful Kamehameha, his most emblematic attack. The energy would concentrate in his hands and then shoot at Frieza with overwhelming force. "This is your end," Gohan said, seriously. Frieza, surprised by the intensity of the attack, tries to block it, but Gohan's energy pushed him back, exhausting him. With a roar of anger, Frieza responded with his own attack. But the collision of the two energies would result in a massive explosion that shook the landscape. When the dust settled, Gohan and Frieza were both exhausted, but still standing. However, something had changed in Frieza's eyes. He had stopped underestimating Gohan. "You're strong, Gohan, more than I imagined. But this is not over yet," Frieza said, with his voice full of malice. Gohan, breathing with difficulty, knew he had to give everything he had. "No, Frieza, this ends here," Gohan said. Gohan, with a cry of war, would charge at Frieza, willing to end the battle once and for all. On the planet of Beerus, Vegeta watched carefully. He knew that this battle would be crucial for the future of the Earth, and although he wanted to intervene, he knew it was Gohan's time. "I hope you know what you're doing, Gohan," Vegeta murmured to himself as the battle continued on Earth. In heaven, Goku, without knowing Beerus's plans, saw everything, confident in his son. "Come on, Gohan, I know you can beat him," Goku said. "He will surely beat him," Bardock said when he appeared as if nothing. "Who are you?" Goku said. "Wait a minute." Goku had never seen Bardock. This was the first time he had the pleasure of meeting him. "I'm Bardock, your father," Bardock said. "I was hoping you would recognize me." "My father?" Goku said. "I heard you had died again, and I decided to come see you," Bardock said. Both Goku and Bardock would see the fight from a crystal ball. "Wow, it seems that the family is destined to fight Frieza," Bardock said. "Did you fight Frieza?" Goku said. "Let's say I tried," Bardock said. Bardock would remember for a moment when he attacked Frieza. "But the results were not what was expected," Bardock said. "Now everything depends on my grandson." Both would observe Gohan carefully. Now the fate of the Earth depended on him. The weight on his shoulders would force him to take out all his potential. Frieza and Gohan continued to fight with great tenacity, but Frieza's blows would begin to impact Gohan. Every second that passed made Gohan lose hope of protecting the planet. "No, I can't give up," Gohan said when taking distance. "I will not let you destroy this planet," Gohan Piccolo shouted from afar. "Wow, this reminds me a lot of Namek," Frieza said. "You have to use your true power. You have to let out that energy that hides inside you," Piccolo said. The battle between Gohan and Frieza reached a critical point. Frieza's fast and precise blows impacted Gohan with overwhelming ferocity. Each punch and burst of energy left the young warrior exhausted. His body trembling from exhaustion, Frieza in his golden form was stronger than Gohan had anticipated, and although his mystical power kept him standing, it was evident that he was losing ground. "You're done, Gohan. You should have brought backup," Frieza said, with a malicious smile, while his tail whipped the air, vibrating with impatience. Gohan breathed with difficulty. His knees trembled as he tried to stay calm. He knew he couldn't afford to lose, but he was also aware that, as things were, Frieza had the advantage. "If I don't do something soon, everything will be lost," Gohan would think, with the sweat running down his face. Gohan would look at the ground, covered with craters and rubble. The echoes of the blows and explosions resounded in the desolate landscape. Piccolo, watching from a distance, screamed in frustration. "Gohan, don't hold back. You know you have more power inside you. Free it," Piccolo said. "The Earth depends on you." Piccolo's words would pierce Gohan's mind, but he couldn't light the spark he needed so much. Deep inside his being, there was a persistent doubt, a shadow that prevented him from unleashing his true power. And if he wasn't strong enough to defeat Frieza, and if, like his father in Namek, he fell before the tyrant, this is not going the right way, Gohan thought. Frieza, detecting fear in Gohan, smiled arrogantly. His laughter resonated in the battlefield in a mocking and cruel way. "Is that all you have? The great son of Goku is nothing more than a coward?" Frieza said. With a golden flash, Frieza would unleash a burst of blows on Gohan, each one stronger than the previous. The young warrior would try to defend himself, but Frieza's attacks surpassed him. Gohan would be thrown to the ground with such force that a cloud of dust and rubble would rise around him. Gohan, jaded and in pain, slowly incorporates him, with his arms trembling as he leaned on the ground. He knew he was at the limit, but the words of his teacher Piccolo resonated in his mind, and the memory of his father. "No, I can't fail," Gohan murmured to himself, clenching his fists. The image of his father Goku would appear in his mind. The fight that Namek had fought, his sacrifice to destroy Frieza, reminded him of what had been his battle against the evil Emperor. "Dad, trust me," Gohan said. "I can't disappoint him." With a renewed determination, Gohan would raise his eyes towards Frieza, who looked at him with contempt. "You haven't won yet, Frieza," Gohan said, with a raspy but firm voice. Frieza would raise an intriguing eyebrow. "Are you still resisting? I admire you for your perseverance, but that will not change your fate," Frieza said. Frieza would launch towards Gohan at a blinding speed, ready to give the final blow. Gohan would see him coming, but this time he did not retreat. Inside, something would begin to awaken, a sleeping power, buried under layers of fear and doubt, would begin to untie. Just before Frieza could reach him, Gohan would close his eyes for a moment. In his mind, he would remember the words of Piccolo, the image of his father, and then, like a thunder, the vision of his own daughter, Pan, appear before him. "I can't fail her either," Gohan would think. With a scream that resonated throughout the battlefield, Gohan unleashes an explosion of energy that would envelop his body. A violet and bluish light surrounded him as his ki rose exponentially. Frieza, surprised by the sudden explosion of power, would stop in the blink of an eye. "What the hell is this?" Frieza said. Gohan's eyes opened suddenly, shining with a fierce intensity. His hair, which used to remain in its mystical form, would now acquire a shiny silver tone with light violet shades. His muscles tightened, but it wasn't a transformation like the previous ones. It wasn't the Super Saiyan, not even the mystical power. It was something different. Gohan had released the Beast Mode, a power that even rivals the gods. "Frieza, I won't allow you to continue hurting my people," Gohan said, with a terrifying calm. His voice was deeper, more authoritative. The air around him vibrated with a pure power emanating from his body. Frieza would look at him in disbelief. "What is this power?" Frieza said, clenching his teeth, feeling for the first time in the battle a pinch of fear. Gohan would not give him time to react. With a speed that exceeded even Frieza's golden form, he would throw himself at him. In a blink of an eye, he was facing the tyrant, and with a single blow, he would throw him flying through the battlefield. Frieza would crash into a mountain, creating an explosion of rocks and dust. The impact would leave Frieza stunned. But before he could get up, Gohan was already on him. With a series of fast and precise blows, he crushed him to the ground. Each blow was stronger than the previous one. Frieza, unable to keep up with Gohan's pace, could hardly defend himself. "Damn mustache!" Frieza screamed as he tried to counter Gohan's attacks, but the difference in power was overwhelming. "This is the best you have, Frieza?" Gohan would ask. His voice was full of confidence that he had not shown before. "Gohan's power is incredible," Piccolo said, disconcerted. Finally, he has awakened his true fighting spirit. With a scream of fury, Frieza would throw himself at Gohan, releasing a burst of golden energy that covered the sky. The attack was so devastating that even from space, the planet trembled by the amount of power released. "Die, Gohan!" Frieza screamed as the energy concentrated in a point and then exploded in a huge energy ball that descended on Gohan. But Gohan did not move at all. With cold eyes and calculators, he would raise a hand, and with a simple gesture, he would divert Frieza's gigantic energy ball, sending it to outer space, where it would explode without causing any damage. Frieza, astonished, could not believe what he was seeing. "This is not possible," Frieza said, disconcerted. "It has to be a joke." Gohan slowly approached him. Every step he took, the tyrant felt that the distance between them became shorter, and his fate more inevitable. "Do not approach," Frieza said with a mixture of fear and fury. "Frieza, this time you will not escape. For all the evil you have caused, for my father, for my friends, for the Earth, this is over here," Gohan said, whose voice resonated like a thunder. Frieza, desperate, would get up from a jump and try to attack Gohan with all his strength, but it was useless. Gohan dodged it easily, as if Frieza was nothing more than a beginner. Goku and Bardock witnessed the fight from beyond, unable to believe what they were seeing. "Kakarot, you have never had a transformation like that," Bardock said. "No, never," Goku said. "Gohan always had the ability to overcome my powers, only he never dedicated himself to martial arts. If he had done it, he would be stronger than the same Beerus, the god of destruction." Finally, Gohan would concentrate all his energy in a final attack. He would raise both arms, and his aura would begin to shine intensely. The air around him trembled, and the ground creaked under his feet. Frieza, now scared, retreated without knowing how to act. "No, you can't do this to me. I'm Frieza. I'm the Emperor of the universe," Frieza said. "Neither you nor anyone can stop me." Gohan said nothing. With a fierce cry, he would release all his energy into a powerful Kamehameha. The wave of blue and purple energy shot at Frieza with an unstoppable force. The tyrant would try to block it, but it would be in vain. The energy would completely envelop him, and with a scream of despair, Frieza would be completely disintegrated. When the light faded, Gohan was standing in the middle of the remains of the battle, breathing with difficulty. He had won. Frieza had been defeated, and the Earth was safe. From a distance, Piccolo watched with pride. "You did it, Gohan! You did it!" Piccolo said. On the planet of Beerus, Vegeta, who had been watching the battle, would squeeze his fists. "Damn Gohan, he did it," Vegeta said, with a mixture of envy and pride. Beerus smiled slightly. "It seems that you have exceeded expectations. It was interesting to see how far he could go," Beerus said. In the sky, Goku and Bardock also watched him. Goku smiled with pride, knowing that his son had reached a new level of power. "Good job, Gohan," Goku murmured. Bardock, looking at the scene, felt, "Your son is strong, Kakarot. He has inherited the power of the family," Bardock said. "He will go very far, and the Earth will be safe." With the battle finally over, Gohan would return with his friends and family. He had achieved the impossible, but he knew that there were still many challenges ahead, and this time he was ready to face them without a doubt. Beerus and Whis, satisfied that their plans had gone well, they knew they had to revive Frieza. "Very good, Whis. Now we must do our part," Beerus said. "Are you really going to revive him?" Vegeta said. "Better to stay in hell. If we didn't, we would fail our word," Whis said. "The Dods can't stay like traitors or we would look like crap," Beerus said. "I guess they'll be responsible for what Frieza does when he's alive," Vegeta said. "Mr. Vegeta, it will be the same as if we had not done anything, since before everything, Frieza was already alive," Whis said. "I hope you are not questioning the order of a god," Beerus said. Vegeta would remain silent, since he could not say anything about it. "And I remind you that this must remain a secret. A word that you say about this, and I will eliminate you," Beerus said. "Understood," Vegeta said. Whis would go to hell in search of Frieza. "Wow, I thought you'd leave me here," Frieza said. "I'm sorry for the delay," Whis said. Whis would free Frieza, and then his aurora would disappear. "Wow, I feel like new," Frieza said. "I will take him back to his planet," Whis said. Frieza would return to his planet, ready for revenge. Now that he had just stopped his fight with Gohan, he had set a new goal: overcome him. The power that Gohan had awakened only stimulated the evil Emperor. He wanted to end the Saiyans once and for all. "That damn brat," Frieza said. "Without Goku alive, that child must take his place. But he is much dumber than his father. I just have to train and be smarter." On Earth, Vegeta trained intensely. He knew that reviving Frieza was a huge mistake, and he trained with everything to defeat him in case he returned to cause problems. "That bastard," Vegeta said as he did not stop throwing blows into the air. In the heaven, Goku was happy that his son was able to protect the Earth. "Kakarot, are you not going to make yourself revive? It's supposed that the angel can revive you after all." "No, it wouldn't make sense," Goku said. "I prefer to stay here and meet the legendary warriors." What could happen now that Frieza was revived? Will Goku come back to life? And will Gohan also be able to protect everything he loves? We'll see all this in the next part of this incredible theory. The Dragon Ball universe is once again making headlines as the legendary franchise prepares for a major milestone, its 40th anniversary celebration. After decades of shaping the world of anime, Dragon Ball is entering a new era filled with anticipation, mystery, and renewed energy for both longtime fans and newcomers alike. According to recent announcements, an official 40th anniversary event will soon take place, promising multiple major reveals that could define the future of the series. The event will pay tribute to Akira Toriyama's monumental legacy, while setting the stage for what's next in the Dragon Ball timeline. Speculation runs wild that the celebration could unveil a new movie, or perhaps even the long-awaited continuation of the Dragon Ball Super anime. For now, fans are bracing for surprises as excitement builds across Japan and beyond. In other major news, Dragon Ball will soon open its first official permanent store in Tokyo Station, a major step in the brand's expansion. The Dragon Ball Store Tokyo will serve as a dedicated retail hub featuring exclusive merchandise, limited edition collectibles, and interactive exhibits for visitors. Due to overwhelming demand, organizers have already announced visitor restrictions for opening week to manage the massive crowds expected to flood the store in November. For fans in Japan, this new location will become a must-visit destination, marking yet another way the franchise continues to thrive in real life as much as on screen. Meanwhile, in the gaming world, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero continues to dominate headlines. The game has now surpassed over 200 playable characters, making it one of the largest rosters in fighting game history. Developers have hinted at even more expansions coming in 2026, with updates that could include additional characters, storylines, and enhanced gameplay features. A second DLC pack, titled Dragon Ball Daima Character Pack 2, was also announced, introducing 6 new fighters, including alternate versions of Goku and Vegeta inspired by the Daima universe. This expansion strengthens the connection between the game and the ongoing animated projects, giving players new ways to experience the saga's legendary battles. Speaking of Daima, the anime series recently wrapped up its storyline, but its ending left fans with more questions than answers. While there is no official confirmation yet for a second season for Dragon Ball Super, insiders have suggested that Toei Animation remains very interested in continuing the franchise's main narrative. Production team members have expressed optimism about exploring new arcs that blend classic shonen action with modern storytelling. Though cautious in their wording, many believe it's only a matter of time before a new series or sequel is announced. In a surprise development that caught fans off guard, Frieza, one of Dragon Ball's most iconic villains, has reportedly received a brand new transformation in recent canonical material. While the form's full details are being kept under wraps, early descriptions suggest that it elevates Frieza's power to a previously unseen level, potentially surpassing even his Black Frieza form. This revelation has sparked intense speculation across fan communities, with theory suggesting that the new transformation could play a key role in the next major storyline. The combination of these announcements, from official celebrations to store openings, gaming updates, and character developments, paints a clear picture. Dragon Ball is entering a period of major resurgence. Despite the passing of its creator Akira Toriyama earlier this year, the creative spirit of the franchise remains stronger than ever, fueled by the dedication of its production teams and the passion of fans around the world. As the 40th anniversary approaches, expectations are high sky. Will fans finally see the long-awaited return of Goku, Vegeta, and their allies in a new anime series? Will the Daima storyline continue in an unexpected way? Or will a brand new Dragon Ball Super movie take the spotlight in 2026? Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain: the next chapter of Dragon Ball is being written right now, and the energy surrounding it feels as powerful as a Super Saiyan transformation. Stay tuned, because the Dragon Ball legacy shows no signs of slowing down. With new projects on the horizon, a massive anniversary event incoming, and fans around the world ready for more, the spirit of Dragon Ball continues to burn brighter than ever.